Let me share with you an alarming statistic. According to an article I read from News 24, Stats SA states that there are way too many young black kids growing up without their fathers. Now we're talking the age group of between 0 and 17 years old. And this is peculiar because if you compare it with other racial groups, coloreds are sitting at 51%, whites at 80%, Indians and Asians at 86%. But can you guess where blacks sit? 31%. Now that said, the question is, how do we change the narrative? My angle, we use influential voices that when they sneeze, the whole of the country actually makes a noise, whether it's on Twitter or any other platform. Let's use their sneeze for positivity. So I've come up and I'm going to be providing commentary on a number of things that popular celebs, it's a 4-part series, popular celebs will be sharing their experiences growing up or their experiences as fathers. We'll have an analytical breakdown of that, and then we can see whether we can't learn from that and actually take something forward as a result of that. Special mention goes out to Podcast and Chill and all the chillers worldwide. The source of the videos, the majority of them was taken from that particular platform. The links are in the description if you want to actually learn more about the stories of the various celebrities from which the message is extrapolated for educational purposes here, as is copyright and fair use allowed.
But I have to, give Tani so a lot of the credit. Mothers, and, if I didn't have such a strong mother for her like it did, I sometimes don't know where we would have ended up. So, I big her up big time. Yes.
Stoan actually teaches us to acknowledge the role that our partners, spouses, and wives actually play in raising our kids. You can't necessarily be a present father if you don't have that fundamental support of nurturing that is intrinsic within our mothers. So big shout out to Stoan for actually acknowledging the role that the mother of his kids have actually played, not only in the upbringing, but in the nurturing process of the kids. Because as parents, partnerships are truly a good policy that we need to actually follow. Let's move on to Zola and his experience.
Close to your mom or your dad or both parents?
I'm close to both of them. I mean, the more you grow, you understand things more. Whatever the anger I thought I had towards my dad, it ended, and then we ended up with serious conversations.
Why were you angry at your dad?
Because sometimes you get taught things as a child, okay, and then you some people train you to hate your father, and then eventually you get curious. I mean, there's no way I could have done Zola 7 without confronting my father. Okay? I can't be dealing with other people's problems without dealing my own.
There's a whole lot of truth that is spoken by Zola within this past clip. Because, if you grow up believing that your father didn't want you, but never actually get to confront them, then you will never truly know the circumstances that led to them not being present in your life. On my side, I never had a relationship with my father, but I can sit back and be thankful because my father's kids, we actually have some sort of a relationship that has emanated through the process of being in the same bloodline. And so there's a lot of good that came from the negative of a non-present father. So as you grow up, confront your beasts, confront your obstacles, and actually see whether you can't forgive and grow from that particular experience. I had to do it, but I was unlucky in the sense that I didn't do it to my father per se, because he's late now. But I did it through my siblings who actually got a bit of experience of growing up with my particular father and actually getting some experience from that. So it actually resonates with me what Zola just shared.
Zulu. Matseke, it's my mother. Zulu, it's my biological father.
Okay.
So I combine the two surnames.
Yeah.
Yes.
And where was your father growing up?
My biological father grew up in Alexandra.
Yeah.
From Alexandra to Tembisa. And then, but when I was young, I never had his presence in my life. I started to know my father when I was 14. And then we didn't spend too much time with my father. Then he passed away. Okay. He wasn't well. You know, not to say he abandoned me or no. He was a hero. He was those type of good guys in the world. Unfortunately, the world was not in his side. So I lost my father. I grew up with my mother, my grandmother, aunts. I was raised by women.
That's the thing about parenthood, right? Because there's no manual, you can never look at another person's experience and actually say that it's meant to be the same as yours. I mean, look at Israel's story. His biological father was not present, but as soon as he got to experience him in his life, that changed a lot for him, because soon after he had passed. So unlike me, who didn't get a chance to actually form a meaningful relationship with my dad, he actually can call his dad a hero. And that means that there are many of us young people out there, many of us who are also now older people of an older generation, who can actually learn a lesson or two from that to say there are many things that, you know, you might not understand as a person when they happen, but at least give yourself the chance to experience if you do have that opportunity, and then grow from that particular experience and learn what you can in your endeavor to grow.
Fathers out there will tell you, who are parents, they'll tell you that once they got their first child, their lives changed. Yeah. True. And how did your life change? It changed because now you're no longer thinking about yourself. You're thinking about this little thing. Yeah. You're thinking about 18 years from today. You're thinking about, so the life changes and the mindset changes. So my daughter changed my life, 2013, for me to stop working on now and the next car and the next better house. My daughter made me to start thinking about longevity, about legacy, about creating things that are going to look after her and her brothers and sisters.
Generational wealth.
In the future, yes. Yeah. But that happened automatically with the birth of my child. It wasn't a decision where I was like, this is what I'm going to start doing now. No, I wasn't that intelligent. It was just God through my child. I was like, yo, I'm an entertainer, and entertainers are known for dying poor and broke. What if I die tomorrow? Is my daughter sorted for life?
It's true. What DJ Spoo shares is quite true, because when I also got my kids, my first daughter, in fact, it changed my perspective wholeheartedly. You know, I've always been that type of responsible person, yes, with my own mistakes and so on, someone who always had a vision, but the vision grows that much more. It becomes more vivid when your daughter enters this world. And through that particular experience, you then make choices, you make decisions that then drive you to bring about a better future for them. You know, you start talking about things such as trusts, you start looking at your finances, you start making sure that the issue of a lineage is, you know, a priority. Generational wealth becomes a priority. You know, those are just things that you truly can't ignore once your daughter comes to the fold, you know. So DJ Spoo truly speaks facts here. Speaks facts here, guys.
I noticed after the incident that you stopped posting your family, like...
Look, I never posted my kids, but now I've kind of just learned to retain a lot of my personal life. Even when you requested to come film at my house.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, I love my house.
Yeah. Beautiful house, by the way. Fucking amazing.
Well, which one? But anyway.
This is obviously a lesson about be careful what you share with the world out there. No matter your status, be careful what you share, because people have foul intentions out there. You know, there are a lot of people who share their every moves, which makes it easier. I've seen even on Facebook, people share their every move, their every experience, from what they're eating to how they're moving to details about where their kids go to school and all that. The problem is, if you put it out there, you put it on a public platform with settings on public settings, then that just means that you become vulnerable to certain things. I'll actually speak about this in a video that I once saw, where they were doing a bit of research regarding cyberbullying, kidnapping, and so on. And they were basically sharing the danger around this particular issue.
But the day we value ourselves and we have self-love, we will not make those particular mistakes. Even we are not saying what you will force yourself to be in a relationship, but you will be present. You will understand, even co-parenting will be better. Because umuntu wesifazane or umuntu wesilisa ngebalwe ngeingane. Ukuthi hey, to get back at you, because uyobe evaluisha i-value umntwana wakho ukuthi in as much as we don't see ROI no baba wakhe, but i-value yakhe is important. Ubaba wakhe needs to be in his life.
There's more to that video in terms of the point that Zakes makes than I actually shared, you know? So you can head over to Podcast and Chill and actually check out that full interview. I can assure you, you're going to enjoy it. But I must say that the part that I did take from it is that value comes from all sides. Value comes from all angles. And therefore, as parents, we need to work in unison and have that unity in our vision so that our kids can actually be groomed and nurtured as they grow up. People will not then be individualistic about it and use their kids as a punishment tool in the process. This is something that I haven't experienced, so I can't really speak on it much. But there are shows, of course, that exist that speaks to this particular topic. But for now, this is the value that I've taken from what Zakes just actually shared.
Now that I've got a hold of my life, and I've been clean for so many years, and I know where my priorities lie, which is my family, my wife and my kids. Now I look forward to living another 40 years.
Wow.
Just to see them happy. Please also notice that I didn't say just to see them succeed. Because I don't want to live vicariously through my kids. I don't want to put expectations on them for them to reach a certain level that I would start approving of their lifestyles. I just want them to be happy. No matter what it is that makes them happy, they must just be happy. And I'll be happy with that. I don't want to be that parent that says, you've got to achieve a certain standard in life before I say I am proud of you. I am proud of you because you are happy with your choices and your mistakes.
Trevor Gumbi put it quite crisp. I mean, as a father, we don't want to impose or even superimpose our dreams on our kids. I think in the past, the circumstances were a bit different. You know, during the times of apartheid and during the times where there was limited futures for our kids, you know, for our parents' kids, you know, that means that the generations that came before my generation, the opportunities were far more limited because of the experience of the past. And so they had to superimpose. They had to literally say, it's either going to be a police officer or a lawyer or a teacher, you know, you're just going to work in government, you're going to work all the years and then die off. But things have changed. And as parents, it's important that we acknowledge those changes. That way we don't actually superimpose what we want for ourselves and live vicariously, as Trevor Gumbi said, through our kids. Quite powerful.
Sure, but now you're good? You're in a happy marriage?
Love my wife. Hey, baby.
Yeah.
I was just talking to her now. We both have a beautiful, gorgeous girl who I'm in love with. She's 20 months old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Love him very much, and he's my dad, and I couldn't ask for another Superman.
Oh, man, that's so
I love you,
sweet.
Nana, and big up, you know, you've come of age, and just at the right time, you've matured into a wonderful, wonderful young woman, and I look forward to my old age because I know that I got some strong lionesses in my corner.
You have a whole army.
Oh, love you, Nana. Love you.
You have an army. I love you, Daddy.
At the end of the day, it's actually quite simple. Ours is to love our kids. From the moment they're born, as they grow up, and then up until God actually gives us the opportunity to outlive them, you know? That's the most important thing for me. Ours is to just love them. If you love them, they will reciprocate. They will give back the same amount of love that you've shown them over the years. And that love that they give back, I mean, I don't mean it in the sense of black text, don't get me wrong, no. The love will just be pure, the love will just be natural. And, you know, there's no better way of ending this video than with Stoan's clip where he speaks to his daughter and the daughter says, "You are my Superman." you know, and you have an army behind you because of the way you raised us. The kids are meant to be there to challenge us. They are meant to be there to actually give us a tough time. It's just the way it is, and there are different stages to the kids. So ours is to just do our best in the process of becoming the human beings that we're meant to be. Thank you for sticking around until the end. I'm still trying to figure this YouTube thing out, man. And if I was able to keep you until the end, that's actually positive for me. If you've got a sense of value that you've gotten from what I've just shared, you know, just like the video, and then you can do 4 more things just to help it reach more people. You can subscribe to the video. You can hit the notification bell. You can actually share the video only if you got some value from it, of course. And more than anything, you can just comment, engage with it so that I can improve where there is a sense of improvement, because we can never get better if we don't try and get feedback and commentary from the people that are consuming what we're putting out. So I'm looking forward to it. Until the next one, cheers, guys.